Hey guys, this is Primeval. Thanks for tuning into my live stream here. We're about to get started with part 2 of our DD Domination game here as Assyria. Uh, wow, it's uncanny, the timing of those phone calls, constantly interrupting me when I'm about to start streaming. Anyways, so let's get going. If there are any comments or suggestions from the last episode, please remind me now. I think people were saying that I should really try to make peace with Shaka, especially since we did really overextend in the last episode. I was really caught up in all the excitement from the live stream in the chat. I think we reached more than 50 people viewing live, and so that was definitely a success. But as a result, I lost a few more units than I would have wanted. So at the moment, Shaka only has swordsmen and archers and catapults. With those catapults, he should be able to bring Ulundi down fairly rapidly. So we are going to have to be careful here. We probably can't take more than a turn or two of hits. We have taken and lost and retaken Ulundi at least once, so it's down to just the one population there, which is good. So even if Shaka does manage to retake his capital, it will cripple him in terms of production and science. He'll still be quite difficult to deal with, though, once he gets to those Impi, and I suspect that'll be soon. Much sooner than we'd like. Alright, so capital nicely taken, and our declaration of friendship with Polynesia has run its course. And this could definitely be a problem for us, especially since our capital is, at the moment, completely undefended. All of our army, our limited army at the moment here, is surrounding Ulundi to deal with the Zulu. So, since holding on to Ulundi is going to be quite difficult for us here, what I'm going to do is see if Kamehameha... Well, first let's renew our declaration of friendship. So, discuss. Shall we make a joint declaration of friendship? He's happy to accept, and may our empires prosper. Yes, may our empires prosper. Okay, now... Yeah, I think I will try to sell Ulundi here. Let's see how much he'll give me for Ulundi. 209 gold, 11 gold per turn, and an embassy. That's definitely a good deal. Okay, so I'm speaking, but I was just showing the title screen. Alright, so hopefully we've brought Civ back up. Nothing too exciting has been happening. I've just been recapping the game, although I'm sure it's pretty annoying to hear me speak while you're not seeing anything happening Civ-wise. So thanks for letting me know about the slight technical difficulties in the stream there. Revenge of Newton. We're getting ready to resume the turn here. So far, I've just renewed a declaration of friendship with Kamehameha, and now I'm about to sell him Ulundi for a pretty sweet deal here. And this actually should work out pretty well for us. So at the moment, I'm the only one at war with Shaka, although I think there might be another civ back here that we haven't met yet, who Shaka is beating up on. But if I do want to remain friends with Polynesia for a little longer, it'll definitely help if we're both at war with the same enemy. And so Shaka will definitely want his capital back, which means either he'll declare war on Kamehameha, or Kamehameha will declare war on him, especially now that they share such close borders here. Okay, so this siege tower just kicked out of Ulundi, since I did trade that away to Kamehameha. I think I'll leave the siege tower here, gain some experience off of this Zulu archer, but all in all, we are ready to resume with part 2. So we've pulled back, since we are down to just the 2 composite bows and the 2 siege towers. We are going to have to build up a larger army before we come back to finish off Shaka, or at least completely cripple him. He's still going to be a force to be reckoned with, even though we have taken down his capital and traded it away to the Polynesians. Alright, thanks Zero Escape, and L for Arkin or Larkin, we are in business. Okay, so here I'm going to go and grab Accuracy 1, since I am really worried about fighting all of these units from Shaka, especially once he gets up to Impy, so the bonus damage on open terrain, of which there is a lot surrounding at least these 2 cities, will definitely be useful. And since I haven't broken the Zulu yet, I think we will need to go up towards machinery for crossbows. So let's go and queue that up now. And with these workers, I guess we may as well... Putting up a bunch of roads on these hills here will be quite useful for repositioning all of our archers as we fight the Zulu army. So that'll be whenever they decide to declare war on the Polynesians, or they could decide to sneak their units all the way around, which would also be fine. But I also want to improve all of the salt around Nineveh. So, in the meantime, yeah, let's get to work on a road here. And it is probably best if we retreat with his units. Although I do want to keep an eye on what Shaka's up to. We'll pull back one of the siege towers. I definitely don't want to lose both of them in some sort of a surprise attack. And we'll keep this composite bow here to keep an eye on this area, although we will want to retreat if we see any Impy. Hopefully he's not an Impy already. Okay, we do have this one barbarian archer to worry about. Let's go and pull him back. How is Assyria doing citizen management wise? We could definitely get some more food rolling in here, but we do have plenty of food and not very much in a way of production. So I think we'll clear off this jungle and mine these gems, and then we'll have a nice 3 hammer, 3 gold tile, as well as, of course, some of faith there. And with this guy, maybe I'll slide around and get some experience knocking down this archer. And so I do these live streams to get motivation from the chat, so if you have any questions or comments, please do voice them there in the chat. Sometimes it does lag behind and there is a slight delay, so let's try to type some random letters in there. I think sometimes that does help things along in terms of making sure the chat is up to date. Alright, yes, so we'll get to work on that mine. And I am working on a library in Nineveh, and then I'll go and work on that national college in our capital so we can keep our science up. At the moment, we're getting almost half of our science from trade routes with Polynesia, so even though later on this is going to be a bit of a mess to fight this war, especially with all of this rough terrain, it's definitely a good thing to start with a neighbor who you can maintain friendship with, because that early science boost is critical for keeping your units relatively on par with the Deity AIs. Okay, so that's another mine set up. Let's go mine that salt. And we'll slide over here, deal some damage, but the forests are in the way. I suppose, no, we don't have open borders either. Walking in here would be a little too dangerous. I don't know what sort of Zulu units are hidden back there. I suppose we can just start pulling back to Nineveh. It'll be quite a while until we have machinery for crossbows, but suppose we can scout this area again. Any fog area is ripe for the spawning of new barb camps, and we can get some experience and make sure no barbs harass our workers from behind our front lines. Let's have a quick peek at what Shaka's up to. Nothing going on at the moment. We'll pull back for now. I don't want to lose any more units than necessary. And we do want to finish that farm. Alright, this composite bow done. Definitely need more composite bows. And now that that's done, we have an escort for our great general, having 2 over by the front lines. We did have a great general, didn't we? Okay, maybe he's our first great general. Good, good. So definitely getting the great general to the front lines will be very useful for the combat strength boost there. And I think since I do have all this extra gold from selling Ulundi to the Polynesians, I will go and buy this tile so we can get to work on the mine right away. Now, for those of you just joining now, we lost a lot of our units in our first push to capture Shaka's capital, and since we were down to just the 2 composite bows, I decided it would be best to sell the capital to Polynesia, and this will delay Shaka in trying to take its capital back while we go and build up our army. So we're going to build up a whole bunch of composite bows. If we get, say, 6 or 7 composite bows before we hit machinery, we might, feel things out and try to push on Shaka again, but most likely we're just waiting for us to hit machinery. We'll go and upgrade our army of composite bows to crossbows and then push again on Shaka, because we definitely do need to deal with him. The Impi are too powerful to ignore. Let's go and repair this farm. So Zeroscape asks if I'm worried about Kamehameha, and he does hear that he has that tendency to backstab. I've also heard this, but Kamehameha has always been a very good ally to me, at least in the last D&D LP that I did. That was the Peaceful Cultural Victory. Kamehameha was a friend for life. But since we are going for the Domination victory here, we will eventually be going to war with them, but I will be paying careful attention to our diplomatic status. On Deity, at least to the way I play, you can't completely ignore your reputation with the other civs, at least not for the early and mid game. So I'm going to keep on poking in here and seeing what the Zulu are up to, but I will always pull back to this hill here. The Polynesian culture borders are somewhat defending our units, and it also leaves me with a clear path to retreat over to Nineveh. Alright, cool. Kamehameha has been building a lot of wonders, which is good, because when I eventually backstab him, or get revenge on him for backstabbing me, I'll be able to claim a lot of those delicious wonders. And we are getting a bunch of XP here on our siege tower. Everything's going according to plan. And I did say I'm going to pop in here. And indeed there was a barb camp, so that was definitely a useful place to send that composite bow. Meanwhile, we're building a bunch of roads in anticipation of Shaka retaking Ulundi and necessitating our taking it back. So we're setting up some roads so we have maximum mobility on our army as we siege Ulundi. The Siege of Ulundi Part 3 or Part 4? Yeah, we'll pop out here again. See what Shaka's up to. There is this river that will restrain his movement. So I think I will be safe not pulling back right away. Let's gain some more experience. Knock down the catapult just a little. Repair that. Larkin asks what my plan is for future cities. And at the moment, until I get my national college up, I'm definitely not going to found any of my own cities. I will like some strong coastal cities so I can pump out a navy, since we are playing on Continents Plus and going for a domination victory, we'll definitely need to field a strong navy. But I'm hoping to acquire those coastal cities through conquest rather than having to build our own. Nineveh will be very strong, especially once we get chemistry to upgrade all these mines. And so we'll be able to pump out a lot of units there. Hopefully we'll get a good handle on this continent in time to pump out a whole bunch of Galeas and then build up a bunch of gold and pay to upgrade them to frigates, and then hopefully dominate with frigates for a little while. So that's the long-term plan for the mid-game. Revenge of Newton asks, how far into the game do I plan to use siege towers? The answer is all the way until chemistry. Siege towers, when backed up by a strong army, since they give the 50% bonus, are actually much more useful than the trebuchets that you would normally upgrade them to. So I'm not at all in a rush to get trebuchets. These siege towers are extremely useful for sieging cities, as you would expect. Okay, healing up our army, stabilizing, keeping an eye on Shaka while I get our new army online. And meanwhile, we do have some barbs to deal with. Nineveh's grown. Let's make sure we're working good tiles here. Switch over to this, since it will be the better tile once we finish that mine. And yes, definitely a road here. If we can get a good road for our composite bow to retreat over, that'll be perfect. And there is this river that is blocking the movement of the swordsman. Although I'm not sure if some of Shaka's special promotions give him the amphibious ability. Let's assume that it doesn't and step forward. He probably does have 3 movement though. I think some of those shields do give 3 movement. Let's pull back here just to be safe. And actually, since we are trying to be educational here, let's go and look up what all those promotions do. So promotions, and first of all, what are these promotions even called? Shared promotions, unit attributes. Alright, so there's the Buffalo Chest. That's a 10% in open terrain. Just a generic bonus there. Buffalo Horns, +1 movement, and general buffs all around, and a flank tank bonus. Alright, so what we're really worried about here is Buffalo Horns, and I don't know which promotion the swordsman has, but it could be Buffalo Horns, which means he could walk around the river and then hit my composite, which I really can't afford to lose any composites right now, so we're going to play it safe there. And so Zero Escape in the chat is saying that the last time he had a wonder spamming neighbor like Kamehameha, he had a very hard time capturing a city since he built a lot of wonders that enhance city defense, like the Red Fort and Himeji Castle. And that could be a problem for us, we'll see. It might turn out that we won't actually be able to siege Polynesia until we get artillery. But with artillery, we should be able to crack Red Fort or Himeji. The question is, will we be able to maintain peaceful relations with Kamehameha until we have the army to deal with them? Okay, so that siege tower is done. We'll also move him forward just to keep an eye on things and also have them generally in position in case we do decide that we need to get aggressive ahead of schedule. So I am playing at a slightly slower pace than I would be for my offline Deity LPs, trying to get a little more interaction with the chat, and I hope you guys are enjoying that. Someone's gone and built the Petra. Petra would have been really nice in Nineveh, and that was a question from my last video. I'm just recalling that now. So I guess it's good that we didn't go for it. There's no way that our 4-pop/3-pop city would have been able to build that by now. But it is a shame that we did miss out on it. That would have really turned Nineveh into a huge powerhouse. And yeah, we'll go and roll forward with that siege tower. We could walk forward, but again, I am worried about those buffalo horns. So we'll just walk forward to see what Shaka's got. No Impy yet. That's definitely good to see. The swordsman there is a little concerning. And let's go and improve some more farms. Alright, so we're up to 3 composite bows, although one of them's preoccupied with these barbarians at the moment. And I am just holding back here, because I don't want to be too cavalier with my composite bows. Definitely don't want to lose any of them. Speaking of losing composite bows here, these barbarians are being quite pesky. Let's go and build. We'll go for another composite bow, but I could use some siege tower backup just in case the 2 that I have get destroyed. And pop up here, build another road piece. Oh, Impy. Well, that's not good. At least there's this river that does restrict Shaka's unit's movement, and as well as having the Polynesians here to gum things up. Kogoga RJ asks if I really want to eliminate the other civs entirely, or just severely cripple them. With Shaka, well, as long as I leave them with just one very small, non-productive city, that's better than completely eliminating them, because completely eliminating them does get us some pretty heavy diplomatic penalties, and I'm not going to be strong enough to take all the AIs on at once, and so trying to play the diplomatic game is going to be fairly important. And so ideally, we'll leave them with one city and let one of our allies, like Kamehameha or a city-state, take out the Zulu's last city, or we leave him with some inconsequential city somewhere. Although he will come back and try to seek revenge at some point. So ideally, we are not going to eliminate any civs completely, at least not right away. Ah, those Impy. And, open borders, that'll be useful. So in the chat, Revenge of Newton says that if we take out the archer, the swordsman would have gone into the camp to protect it, and that's definitely the case. If there's an empty camp, nearby barbarians will go to occupy the camp. But the fortified archer is not going to be eliminated by a single shot from this composite bow. Alright, so the plan here is to build a road network. We'll get this worker starting on that as well. And let's grow our capital a little more here. Ooh, and that's kind of interesting. These gems, plains, plains hill, flat plains. Because the gems are on a plains and not a hill, we're actually getting 1 food out of that. So that's nice, a mix of food and hammers. I don't know, impies just feel so unfair. They're just so good. Ooh, and there's a camp that we could clear. I guess we could send the worker over there to clear that. And maybe Geneva will give us a quest to clear that. Let's go and pledge to protect them. Got a little more influence rolling in, just in case. Zero Escape is saying in the chat that he's left AI with a single low production city and they've made huge comebacks. And so that's definitely a risk of leaving them one city. And, oh no, this impy is here. Okay, so we're going to go and pull back with the impy here. If we stand within Kamehameha's territory, that will force the Zulu to declare war on Polynesia if they want to get to our unit. So let's try that out. Although here, we also have some barbarians to contend with. So let's actually go and pull back to a safe distance of 3 hexes. So yes, leaving the AI with one city cripples them, but doesn't completely remove them from the game, and they are definitely capable of making a comeback and continuing to be quite annoying. So we're going to go and work on that National College. I'm definitely going to go and chop down some of these trees to hurry that along. And we'll fortify there. Build the road. I don't mind if we lose some of these workers temporarily. Finishing that road isn't too urgent. Okay, go and deal some damage to this guy. Recapture our worker next turn, and let's go and clear out that camp before another barb spawns. The extra gold is also quite nice. And we did get a free promotion out of that. Let's go and probably going to be mostly on open terrain with these guys. Let's pull back and let's get some more experience on this siege tower. We'll also go... I know that one of these workers I did capture from Geneva. If I get that barb to capture the worker, I don't need 2 workers over by Assyria, especially since I've got a whole bunch of workers over here that I can bring back over later. If I get the barb to recapture that worker and then I liberate it, that would be a nice boost in influence with Geneva, so definitely something to try out. I won't try too hard to protect this worker. There's a 50-50 chance that it's the worker that I stole from Geneva. Ooh, and there Kamehameha declared war on Shaka. I sort of expected it to be the reverse, where Shaka would declare war on Kamehameha. And I don't know what Kamehameha was thinking here. I mean, he doesn't have an army at Ulundi. Maybe he just wanted to get rid of the city. Anyways, we do want to go and recapture that worker. I guess I'll move the composite over in that direction. He's probably trying to bring the worker over here. There's no need to shoot our own worker here. And let's go and pull back with these siege towers. We're definitely not ready to recapture Ulundi. But with this unit here, we'll pull the Great General back to safety. But I will try to get a little bit of experience on the archers here. It's possible that both these Impi will go and attack the bowmen, but surely Shaka will be more preoccupied with recapturing his capital there. Okay, did we finish that road? No. Fortify. Looks good. And chopping that to finish our National College a little faster. Yes, that brings us down to 14 turns. Definitely nice. Someone's gonna build the Hagia Sophia. And let's go... Well, if we want some free gold, we should go and capture this camp before Geneva's spearman does it for us. So let's do that. A little gold there. And we'll go chop this for us to speed up the National College. Alright, so we'll pop back into the city to heal that siege tower up a little faster. I'll leave this siege tower here on the hill. It shouldn't die immediately to these units, and it'll let me keep tabs on what's going on over here a little more easily. Go and deal some damage there. All that seems fine. fortify, and go and Kamehameha, come on now. Where are you going with that settler? Okay, well he can't settle right here, but if he settles nearby, that'll deprive me of one of these salt. Let's see. 60 to buy that tile, I'll do that. Okay, that's fine. Wants to buy gems, and I'd be happy to sell those, but I'd prefer more of a lump sum gold kind of deal. And we can go and make up the rest with gold per turn. Yeah, fine, that's good. Ooh, alright. So, I was a little careless with the comps and bows, and we did lose one there, which is definitely not what we wanted. Let's start pulling back. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. We can pull back the 1, and we should be safe, but just in case, let's go and pull our Great General back even further. We'll go fortify here. Yes, that was definitely unfortunate. I did not want to lose that composite bow. And Polynesia has gone and recaptured that worker, who was formerly one of the 3 or 4 settlers that Shaka sent at us. Okay, let's go chop that down. Fortify, and we are good. Oh, this is really bad. Okay, so we lost another composite there. We also lost a worker, and this siege tower is definitely in trouble. Alright, so this is not going to plan at all, but we're definitely not in danger of losing the city. He has no siege units, and with our siege attack, we should be able to hold that off. But it's definitely not what we had planned. Okay, let's get this going again. Go and trade Samoa or back here. Since we do have a bunch of barbarians coming from the east, probably trading far to the left would be the safest. And losing those 2 composite bows does set us back. It means we won't be able to get aggressive as soon as I would have liked to. Oh, and we lost the siege tower. This is definitely, definitely not good. So let's retreat the siege tower there, hide the composite bow inside the city. Nineveh has grown. It's nice, we do have a lot of salt that we're working. And we'll go and try to recapture this worker here. Drop that for us to speed along the National College. And hope, well, Kamehameha's units were getting in the way there, so that was definitely helpful. Hope that we can take care of Shaka's units without too much trouble, although Impi are a terrible scourge to deal with. We'll go and chop that down, and looks like we're going to be chasing down that worker for a while. Ah, and both these Impi have embarked, which will make them much easier to deal with here. Boom, boom, and boom. Silly AI. Alright, let's go and get another composite bow. Trying to give chase to that worker. And I don't need any lump sum gold right now, so we'll cancel that. Barbarians. Let's keep an eye on things here for now. So that was a rougher starting than I would have liked. Hopefully you guys aren't too discouraged by the loss of units, or more specifically, hopefully I'm not too discouraged by the loss of those units. And we are going to use our siege tower here to keep an eye on what Shaka's units are up to. We'll push these guys a little forward and maybe get some free shots off on this swordsman. He's only got the one buffalo related promotion there. Hopefully it's not the one that grants the additional movement. Alright, so we did come in to deal some damage to our siege tower, which does mean we have an opportunity to gain another kill here. Excellent. So losing units is a lot more painful than for us is a lot more painful than for the AI to lose units, since they do have massive production bonuses. But we have been taking down more units than we've lost, so at least there's that consolation. So I don't know how long I'm going to be able to maintain friendship with Kamehameha, so I'm not going to go for a research agreement here. Otherwise it would be useful, and it'll give us a boost, most likely towards navigation for frigates. Or chemistry to give us the boost for mines and also get us up to cannons. Anyways, we did finish the National College, which is definitely nice. And let's get to work here on more composite bows. We definitely need a lot of those. Fortify here. Go and heal. Fortify, fortify. Revenge of the Newton says, I cringe when I lose units, referring to himself, of course, and that's also the same for me. It was pretty rough losing those two composite bows there. The Impy are just so powerful. Alright, so Kamehameha wants salt and is willing to give me some gold per turn for that. Let's push that up to 6. How about 7 gold per turn? Alright, I can do that. Geneva has declared war on Shaka, so Geneva must have gone and allied itself with Polynesia here. That's cool. And Geneva wants a trade route as well as Tengrism. Larkin suggests sending a unit to... so there's the 4th Civ. It's Mongolia. If I can meet Mongolia, then we might get some Diplo boosts from having a shared enemy. But Mongolia, assuming I don't have too much trouble rolling Shaka, although at this stage, since we lost a bunch of our units, it is going to take a lot longer than I would like. After Shaka, Mongolia will probably be the next target, and then once we have a nicely experienced army, maybe some more modern units, then we'll go for Kamehameha. So it's not a rush for me to go and befriend Civ number 4, which we've just found out is Mongolia. Meanwhile, we have grown pop a few more times. Let's make sure we're working good tiles here. Definitely good tiles over here in Nineveh. And in the capital, I'm also happy with that tile setup. Although I will want to get another farm online for this next citizen to work in 2 turns. So if we do want some more influence with Geneva, which would mean some faith, I could get a trade route going with that. Although that does mean missing out on 6 gold per turn with Honolulu. Alright, maybe the next trade route will be with Geneva then. So we'll renew that route with Honolulu. And why don't we pop forward here and see what Shaka's up to. I don't see any units, but it could be a trick. I really don't see any units here. Although, it's probably going to be really foolish of me to push forward here. It's very possible that Shaka sent his army to go and deal with the Mongols, or maybe even sent a party to go and attack Polynesia, since at the moment, he is at war with everyone on this continent. Selling Ulundi to Polynesia was definitely a good move on our part. Okay, let's pop forward here, grab ourselves another worker, and I don't see any impy, so this is perfect. Pushing forwards with our units there could have turned out much more poorly. Right, so what we'll do is pillage that, pull back with the worker, finish that road we were working on, and pull back with the siege tower. Meanwhile, let's pop up here, deal some damage in case any units do push forward. Kamehameha has built another wonder. Hopefully it'll be ours one day. Okay, there's a composite bow done. We have machinery in 6, so that will line up quite nicely. And we'll go for another composite bow here as well. Since I'm down to just the one siege tower, let's switch that up to a siege tower. And we'll go and bring that composite bow to our front lines. Finish this road. And go on alert. Okay, good. We should also go and push our Great General forward, marking these of use. I am quite surprised I haven't seen any moves from Shaka here. Since we are just 5 turns away from machinery, I am going to wait. I also only have the 4 composite bows over by the front lines. It will soon be 5, and I do have a fairly large gold stockpile, so let's go and purchase another here. And we will go and push forward with the Great General. Zero Escape asks if I'm concerned about other civs on the other continent sailing over with astronomy and founding the World Congress in the middle of my warmongering and destroying my diplomacy for the rest of the game. So, at the moment I'm not really much of a warmonger. As I repeatedly capture Ulundi and maybe some of Shaka's other cities, that could become a problem, but I don't think it'll be possible for me to completely eliminate Shaka before meeting the civs from the other continent. So there's not really much I can do about that. Since Shaka is a warmonger and well hated by everyone else on the continent, I should be able to maintain good relations for quite a bit longer. And the civs from the other continent won't be too invested in the diplomatic squabbles we're having here with Shaka. So I'm not too worried about the other civs coming and seeing the great wars that we're having over on our continent. Hang out there with that great general, and we do have plenty of money, so let's go and purchase another composite bow. And we'll start bringing these guys back home to upgrade them to composite, or to crossbows rather. And Shaka does have 1 MP in the area, so I think I will pull back for safety. And in anticipation of machinery. Okay, so we've got the dyes hooked up, and I would like to get another farm rolling, but Kamehameha's units are mucking up my civilian movement here. Gold return from Kamehameha has ended. We'll leave the siege tower there. 3 turns until we hit machinery. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 composite bows. We can definitely afford to purchase... No, we can't afford to purchase one more here. How many excess luxuries do we have? We have dyes that we could sell. Alright, let's go and purchase one more. We'll wait until 1 turn before machinery and we'll purchase that just to save on the upkeep cost. And we'll just go and fortify all of these guys. And I would much prefer the farm here. Okay, right now we're just working this plains tile, which is not at all very exciting. We'll lock down that, so that once the farm finishes, at least it'll be a slightly better yield. Someone's gonna build Angkor Wat. Polynesia is no longer an ally of Geneva. And here, got a nice road network done, so we can definitely rush into Ulundi later on. Let's go put up a road over this way, or get that salt mined. Yeah, let's mine that salt first. Fortify, and on to the next turn. Okay, so this turn, we'll go and buy one more composite, and the next turn, we'll upgrade all of our composites to crossbows, and go and rush Ulundi. And adopt a policy here. Could unlock tradition, which would get us a growth boost in our 2 cities, as well as the free aqueducts, which will definitely be useful in terms of upping our population. Go and do that. We've got a spy, who I will go and drop into Polynesia, since they probably are the tech leader, at least relative to Shaka. Since we did knock down his capital, we're more likely to have better luck stealing techs from the Polynesians. Although I won't steal too many techs because I don't want to make Polynesia upset with us before we're ready to deal with him. Alright, so purchasing that last composite bow. Now, buying composite bows and then upgrading them to crossbowmen is cheaper than straight up buying crossbowmen. So here, the cost is 320. And we'll soon see what the cost of upgrading. No thanks, Shaka. I'm not giving you none of that. So that's 320 plus 100. That's 420, whereas straight up buying a crossbowman is 460. So you do save 40 gold there at the cost of having these guys idle for a turn. So let's go and upgrade all of these guys. And I need another 200, which hopefully I can go and get from Kamehameha, which I can't. So maybe I bought one crossbowman too many, but we will get some more gold coming in when we start pillaging the tiles around Ulundi, as well as when we capture the city itself. So we will be able to upgrade those composite bows eventually. Go for crossbow here. Choose research. Let's get ourselves up towards education, and we'll want to grab horseback riding first, just in case I need a horseman. Although, as Assyria, most of our Malay unit city capturing will be done with the siege towers. Really? Shaka made peace with Kamehameha. And I sure do hope that Kamehameha didn't give Shaka any gold per turn for that. No, he probably got some lump sum gold for that. So let's go and sell the dyes, and we'll go and take 118, and we'll make this deal work. 2 per turn. Sure. Okay, so that's enough to upgrade one more crossbow. We are safe up there. Good. Can go and push over here. And we need another 200 gold to upgrade these last 2 composite bows. Okay, we'll shift over this way. Get one of these guys into position. Don't want to take any range attack damage from the city just yet. There's horseback riding done. We're no longer allied with Antwerp, which does bring our happiness down to 5. Oh, and Ulundi's already grown back to 7. So the Deity does get growth bonuses as well. Kamehameha is plotting against me. Great. Okay, we'll need another siege tower here. Although, if we wanted more gold, getting a naval trade route going between Nineveh and, say, Geneva or Antwerp would also pay off quite nicely for us. Yeah, Nineveh and Antwerp, that'd be 8 gold per turn, which is definitely nice. 2 siege towers should be enough for me to take Ulundi, although I'll likely lose one somewhere along the way. So if I want to capture another one of Shaka's cities, I probably will need the 3 siege towers. But, cargo ship, 11 turns. Alright, we'll build a 3rd siege tower first, and then I'll consider turning out a cargo ship. Alright, now let's walk forward one more step, see what Shaka's got going on in here. And next turn, we will push forward with our crossbows. Okay, there's the siege tower done. Let's push this up over here. Wait there, and push in here. Fortify, 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 fortify. And we're good. So I'm feeling a little less excitement on this live stream compared to the last one. We do have 25 of you in, or 28 of you on the stream right now. So if you have any questions or comments, please do share them. I think now is the time that we're going to go and try to take Ulundi for what I'm guessing is the 4th time. You'll get the siege tower adjacent so we can get the 50% damage boost. Go and pop up on this hill. I should also have brought the Great General into range as well. Pop it over here. You can see there the usefulness of having built these roads. I can pop my crossbow in here and to deal damage right away. And but not with this guy. That's alright. We'll go come in like this, and they'll do their damage next turn. Meanwhile here, we're waiting for upgrades on those composites. There's the farm done. And I think I will go and clear this jungle to get another... Oh, well, we'll go and clear this swamp. And get a farm going there. Alright, so these impy finally make an appearance. It'll make holding the city much more difficult. Here I think I will take an instant heal. Not all of our crossbowmen need to get up to range and logistics. And as for these guys, it would be best if we took care of as many of these impy as possible. Okay, that's that taken care of. That would be suicidal with that siege tower. Let's shift over one so that I can get one more crossbowman in range, deal some damage there, and next turn we should be able to capture Ulundi. They, at the moment, the only units I can see here are the 2 impy, 1 catapult, and 1 composite bow. Okay, that mine's done. Let's go and build a farm over here. Although we should maybe get some workers in here to repair some of Shaka's tiles so that we can repillage them. In the chat, Revenge of Newton says that whenever he tries to wield large armies in the early game on a mortal, he gets massive gold deficits, and so at the moment we're getting, let's see now, how much gold are we getting from our trade routes? City connections, we're getting 7 gold per turn from trade routes, so without that we'd be getting close to a negative. But I can't really say. We have been pretty lucky with the luxury resources. We've got gems, so we're getting a whole bunch of gold off of that, as well as the salt. And Colin is suggesting that we have enough units for now to deal with Shaka, and we should start worrying about our economy and our long-term science. That might mean switching over from the siege tower over to a cargo ship and to get some gold per turn rolling in from trade with Antwerp or Geneva. That's definitely a good idea. It'll all depend on whether or not we lose a siege tower next turn to these 2 impy. Alright, so with this caravan, I could go and trade it with Nukahiva. That's 5 science. I think I would like that bonus there rather than the influence with Geneva. So let's go get that trade route going. We're waiting for money for an upgrade. And let's see, do we need... yeah, sure, we can have open borders. Do we need another siege tower? Yes. Oh man, do we ever need another siege tower? We lost both of them there. Impy, with their insane movement plus the roads, came out of nowhere. Now I have nothing to capture the capital with. Alright, so, Impy ambush indeed. Well, I guess we'll have to pull back. I mean, I will want to kill as many Impy here as possible. Oh, well, that could have gone a lot better. Okay, these guys will need to pull back. We can deal a bunch of damage to this guy here. But it does mean we'll lose at least 1 crossbowman. That was brutal. Impy are no joke. Alright, so we could leave a guy here. That does mean losing a crossbow. But we do get to take down one of these Impy. Alright, let's do that since he probably has an instant heal by now. The AI on Deity also gets a huge bonus to the speed at which they gain experience. Also, my neighbor's dog is making a lot of noise. Alright, so let's go and upgrade, get ourselves one more crossbowman here, and see if we can sell anything to Kamehameha here. He does have 100 gold. Let's see. What will you give me for 5 gold per turn? 110. I accept. Let's get another one of these crossbowmen online. Alright, so we'll have a new siege tower in 4 turns, which means we'll be able to lay siege to Ulundi again in about that time. But until then, it's probably best if we do pull back with our crossbowmen. So I think the stream and chat is just catching up now to when all those impy jumped in on us. And oh crap, indeed, Colin. Alright, so let's hope we don't lose too many crossbowmen here. Just one. That's actually the best case scenario. Alright, so let's see if we can take out another impy here. We've got 4 crossbowmen. It's possible. And yeah, let's try that. Well, we've got this guy over here. Yeah, with these crossbowmen as backup, we should definitely be able to take out another impy here, which really is quite important. Alright, let's go and take these guys down. Like so. Little damage there, and you can heal up. And I think it should be safe for me to walk the Great General in over this way. I don't think it's possible for any of Shaka's units to have snuck by here. Alright. I'm really worried that another wave of MP is just going to jump up. The extra movement on the MP, plus that they're resistant to range attacks and they deal the extra range attack damage before the melee attack, makes them so scary and so hard to deal with. Colin is suggesting a horseman instead of a siege tower. With these roads, I should be able to get the siege tower into position fairly rapidly, and it does increase the damage that my crossbowmen deal to cities by 50%. So I think I'm going to stick with the siege towers for now. Although the horsemen are definitely useful, since they can capture a city and pull out if I'm worried about the city being recaptured the very next turn. Let's go and, well, we can take an instant heal here. Keep our momentum going. Drop down here. Deal damage like so. And I don't know if my noise gate is blocking out that barking in the background, but if it's not, my apologies. It's definitely bothering me. I think the dog just misses its owners. Zeroscape asks how useful Assyria's unique units or unique ability is. I'm assuming that's the free tech on city capture. I've never actually played Assyria before. I did play a short multiplayer game with them, but never really got to test out their unique ability. So I don't know how useful the free tech will be. It does sound like it'll be quite useful, especially since we're planning to get pretty aggressive. But that's something you'll find out as I play through and you guys come along with me. So let's hope we don't lose another unit this turn. Oh, where are all these MP coming from? This is brutal. Alright, well, what we'll do here is pillage and swap out. Well, we'll take a bunch of upgrades first. So open terrain, and open terrain. We'll swap out of the range of the city's range attack. Take out as many of these impy as we can. And here aim for this guy. Okay, there's a crossbowman done. We'll go send him to the front lines here. What's the fastest route? Over by Nineveh, thanks to that road. And here, another crossbow. And yeah, Impi are brutal. I'm really sorry we couldn't crack the Zulu before those Impi came online. Okay, so we lost one crossbow there. It's alright, we have been taken down, or we did take down 2 of Shaka's units last turn. Here we could take an instant heal or deal more damage. Well, here, deal damage here. Pillage, and should I swap out? Yes, we will. Go deal damage like so. Now the question is, do I want to take the instant heal? I think he's dead, no matter what I do here. He could survive one more turn with an instant heal, so we'll do that. And let's knock that composite bow down. And my siege tower is ready. Next turn I'll be able to get into position and hopefully we'll capture Ulundi, and that'll help us stem this flow of Impi. I do have 2 great generals, so dropping a citadel is also an option that could help us with a lot of these crowd control problems we're having. If I can capture Ulundi, I might drop a citadel somewhere over here in between Gundalovu and whatever's over here. Hopefully that'll deal a lot of effective damage to any units that keep rushing in here. Alright, so the siege tower is done. Unfortunately, I will need another one online. I can't spend any hammers on a cargo ship at the moment. The dog indeed must be distressed at the loss of all those units. Alright, so we're probably going to lose another crossbowman here, and I'm not going to be happy about it. Alright, gems. Let's see now. How much lump sum gold can you give me here, Kamehameha? And how about 2? Just 187? Yeah, better than nothing. Oh, this hurts so much. Alright, so we'll take down the Impi. We are down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 crossbowmen. Stroll in here, pillage, and well, do our best to take these guys down. Get the siege tower into position. At the very least, it'll save one of our crossbows. And if we wanted to purchase a siege tower that's 390, it would mean we would need to sell something else to Kamehameha. It does have 80 lump sum gold. Yes, I think there is a good chance we'll lose the siege tower here. I will want another. A siege tower versus a horse, they are the same price. Let's go with another siege tower here. Go and trade. What will you give me for 4 gold per turn? 80? How about 3 gold per turn? 66. Alright, let's go and buy a siege tower here. The movement we were able to get in over here. I would prefer the siege tower since it does buff all of my crossbowmen. Go buy that siege tower. Finish that farm. And we will bring our second Great General into position. Fortify. Alright, please, not a third wave of MP. Alright, there was an instant heal on that MP. We didn't lose any units, and our siege tower is still alive, but a second MP has arrived, as well as a longsword. So it could have been worse, and it could have been a whole lot better. So here, let's grab civil service, even though I'm in the middle of researching that. And Kamehameha might have caught us here, so let's go and move, see what the Zulu are up to. And here, looks like it's instant heal time. But do I want to capture the capital right now? Yes, I do. He doesn't have any siege units around. I would destroy that catapult, which means I'd be able to hold on to Ulundi for at least one turn, enough time to pull the siege tower out, and it would defend me from 2 range attacks next turn if I did take out the city and the catapult. So let's see how much damage we can do here. That's a plus 65% combined from the siege tower and the Great General. 20 damage, 26 damage, 25 damage. Alright, so we should be able to capture the city here, and we do. We get a great work out of the deal. Go and create ourselves a puppet. Alright, so I can't afford to be losing too many more crossbows. We'll pull back to safety there, deal damage, and here I can't really get to safety, so we'll just go and deal damage here and hope for the best. He did just instant heal last turn, so hopefully he won't gain enough experience to do that a second time. And with this worker, we'll get him in position, finish that road network, and have him repair tiles. Get our other siege tower into position. So with the road, he does get right beside Ulundi right away. Yes, let's drop him here. I'd rather lose a siege tower than a crossbow. And, let's see, this Impy can't get to Ulundi. We've got a longsword and an Impy. I think Ulundi can hold out for one more turn, so I don't think it'll be necessary to do our tricks of selling Ulundi back to the Polynesians, but we're about to find out if my estimation is correct. 19 strength city, they didn't even attack it. Alright, so we did hold out for one more turn there, although we'll likely lose it here. I think I can afford to try to work our way up towards range or logistics. And Colin is saying I should try to reposition the great work. It was actually automatically repositioned since I only have one place to house a work of art, but definitely a good suggestion. Had it been, say, some other work that could have been housed in Ulundi, it does make sense to reposition captured great works, especially if the city is in danger of being captured. So let's take out this longsword so we have a place to retreat the siege tower. Although he's not exactly safe there either. That Impy could come in and ruin his day. And let's go and retreat here. And take out that Impy. Fortify. Oh, that dog is horrible. And get over this way. Yeah, so unfortunately that work of art was a work of art and not a great work of writing. If it was a work of writing, we could house it in the library and get the experience bonus off of that. But sadly, it was the wrong kind of work. Alright, so let's get in there, we'll repair some tiles, get a road going, that'll be good. and hope we don't lose too many units here. Alright, we lost none. In fact, Shaka's units attacking the city got us, did some nice damage to them, which is good. Alright, so these guys will hang back here to heal up. Healing up in our territory would be faster, but I don't want to risk losing them to any surprise attacks from the 3 move units there. Okay, let's slide forward slightly. Try and take out this impy. Alright, so let's pull back with this siege tower, slide it over here, and bring this guy in. Okay, we'll build a road and fortify heal. Likewise with you. Alright, so that didn't go so badly, and Shaka doesn't have any siege units here, so hopefully we'll be able to hold on to Ulundi for another turn. Or not. Zulu's got their capital back. We have some upgrades to take here, including an instant heal and another badly needed instant heal. Alright, so sliding over this way, take out the impy if we can. Then go and deal damage to the city and retake that if we can as well. And we can. Let's go and pull it to that to heal up. Grab the city. Yeah, let's return that to Polynesia. That'll be a nice Diplo boost there. Awesome. We freed one of their captured cities, citizens rather, and maybe that'll stop them from backstabbing us quite so soon. Let's go and create a puppet. And fortify. Alright, so that's good. Once we clear out a few more of these units, we should be safe to slide one of our great journals forward and drop a citadel somewhere. Dropping it on a hill would be nice, so over here would be good if we wanted to siege this city. Let's see what's happening in here. We'll have surveillance next turn. Otherwise we're good. And we did grow again in the capital, and we're not really working the most useful tiles here. Although, since we are at our happiness cap, I'm not in a rush to grow the capital either. This all looks fine. Wow. Where are all these MP coming from? Another 4 of them. So if I had a citadel here, they would all be taking damage. But dropping a citadel directly adjacent to a city that's continually changing hands is very dangerous. If I dropped a citadel here and the Zulu recaptured Ulundi, then they would gain control of the citadel, and I definitely don't want that to happen. Alright, let's go and try to take care of these impy again. Whoa, and what's this? Great merchant. Alright. And Zulu are secretly plotting against another civilization. Probably the Mongolians, since it didn't give us an option to share that intrigue. And we did just finally get Ulundi's range attack back. We could go and destroy that MP, and we will. And we'll do our best to take this guy down. Excellent. So we killed 2 MP there. That went fairly well. I think Ulundi should be able to hold off against 2 MP here, so let's leave the siege tower in there for now. No, it's best to play it safe. We'll pull out and jump down here, deal some damage there. And if we want to maintain our happiness, we could get some marble online or demand tribute from Geneva, but we don't have anywhere near the military strength for that. No. Speaking of which, let's look at the demographics. Soldier-wise, we are close to the bottom, but not at the bottom, which is good. We're on the bottom as far as techs go, but that's standard for Deity. Otherwise, we are lagging behind, which you would expect from the score summary. Yeah, the dealing with Impy can be very discouraging. But, I mean, we're faring okay. We're taking out one or two of them each turn, and we haven't been losing too many units. And there they just retreated, so this is great. We'll take down this longsword, and then we'll get our great general into position, steal some land, and then move in on the next city. Alright, let's try to get over to our well-promoted crossbowman. Polynesia is an ally of Geneva. Impy are running around. And Shaka and Kamehameha have just entered the Renaissance era. So, stealing attack from the city is 25 turns. That's not really going to work out for us. It looks like Shaka makes an Impy in a single turn, so that's why he has so many of them. Let's go and switch on back to Honolulu then. Go spy there. And so, Zero Scrape asks why sometimes the game doesn't show the unit icon. I don't know why exactly, but it is annoying. Sometimes you don't really notice that the unit is there, even though the more subtle animation does indicate the unit is present. Alright, so these guys will heal up, likewise here and here, but the rest of these units will do their best to take down. Well, there's the Great Merchant. Alright, so if we look at strategic view, we do get the symbol for the Great Merchant there. So that's one way to get around the glitch. But let's just go and try and take down this guy here. So it looks like we'll need a little more firepower. Shift down here. Ooh, that's pretty dangerous. Alright, let's shift back. If we don't kill him this turn, well, then we just don't kill him this turn. I'd rather that. Well, we can hide inside the city. Alright, good. That takes care of things. We've got a lot of hit points here, and there are no siege weapons around Ulundi, so that's we should be safe inside the city. Let's go repair that. Got the third siege tower, so once we lay siege to either this city or this city, likely this one since there's more open terrain, it'll be easier to set up our units. We'll definitely have enough siege towers for that. Let's also get a road going to connect our cities here. Let's build a road. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, we'll build the road over like so. Starting here. An Impy a day keeps the doctor away, indeed. And Peter Robinson asks how Shaka doesn't have crossbows yet. I did take his capital, so that definitely knocked his science per turn back. And he has been at war with everyone on the continent, so he hasn't been able to get any boosts from trade. Alright, so that siege tower is done. I don't need another siege tower. I might need another crossbow, but I think I am going to take some time to get a cargo ship rolling. And that's good. So we'll play one more turn here, and that'll be it for tonight's episode. I'll see you guys next week. Get your questions and comments in before we end the episode. Ooh, we got a great profit. We could enhance our religion here, but let's see what types of enhancers are left. Missionary conversion and religious texts. So itinerant preachers is left, but that's not going to be too useful for me here. Excuse me. So I think I'll use that great prophet to spread our religion to Geneva, which will get us some influence there. And we'll also shore up our religious pressure. So I can spread religion to the 2 city-states, my own city, and maybe Ulundi, and then we'll be able to push back against Christianity here. Okay, time to take some more of these impy out. Nice. $26 damage on 18, that should do the trick. Too bad we can't capture the Great Merchant. We would only destroy it by standing there and exposing our siege tower to a bit of danger. Let's position this siege tower to potentially capture that great general here next turn. Alright, so there's a crossbow done. Let's see, how long will that take us to get to the front lines? If we go for the jungle, that's 5 turns. Alright, let's see what's going on over that way. And we do have a caravan done. You can go and renew the trade route with Honolulu, that's 8 gold per turn. That's a definite yes. And we still do need crossbows here. Although, it does look like we're starting to trim down the massive impy force. Alright, forget about the crossbow for now. We could get a market up, which would get us a nice boost to our gold per turn, which will be important long term, especially as we're about to hit the negative gold per turn here. We can get a Writers Guild going, that'll help us unlock some more social policies, and if we do capture another city, happiness will also be fairly important. Let's go for the market for now. And yes, this is where we'll end part 2. I hope to see you guys in part 3. Thank you everyone who tuned in to the live stream, and I hope you guys on the archive are enjoying these games as well. Revenge of the Newton says he now has motivation to take another stab at Deity, and I'm happy to hear that. Colin's asking how much it'll take to bribe Polynesia to declare war on the Zulu. Let's go find out. Trade. Declare war on Shaka. What do you want for that? He's not going to go for that. So the answer is nothing that he'll volunteer. Oh no, our declaration of friendship has expired. Shall we make a joint declaration of friendship? Oh, this is bad news. Alright, so episode 3 might be pretty exciting since Kamehameha is no longer our friend. Well, may we live in interesting times. Alright, so that's it for episode 2. Tune in next Tuesday for part 3 of my Assyria DD Domination, and tune in this Thursday at this time slot, 7:30 Eastern Daylight Time, for my Thursday multi-session subscriber multiplayer games. Alright, Primeval, signing off.